Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the surface of your thoughts, dreams, and emotions? What if the answers to life's biggest questions aren't found in the waking world, but within the hidden realms of your unconscious? Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, believed that the mysteries of the human psyche could only be unraveled by delving into this vast and unexplored territory. He revolutionized our understanding of the mind, uncovering profound truths about who we are and why we behave the way we do. Jung's work transcends the boundaries of traditional psychology, venturing into the realms of spirituality, philosophy, and even mythology. His ideas challenge the conventional wisdom of his time and invite us to explore the deeper layers of our consciousness, where we can confront our inner conflicts and unlock our true potential. But how did Carl Jung, a curious and introspective young man from a small Swiss village, develop these groundbreaking theories that would change the world? In this journey, we'll follow the life and work of Carl Jung, from his early years shaped by spiritual tension and intellectual curiosity, to his revolutionary discoveries that forever transformed our understanding of the unconscious mind. Let's dive into the heart of Jung's story and uncover the experiences that laid the foundation for his transformative psychological theories. Welcome, fellow explorers. Here at The Unfolding Journey, we invite you to embark on an adventure into the deepest realms of the human psyche. Our goal is to take you on a path of self-discovery, where you can unlock the hidden potentials of your mind, explore universal themes in psychology, and understand what it means to live fully and authentically. If you've ever been curious about the workings of your unconscious mind or the mysteries of your inner world, this journey is for you. Join us as we explore the transformative theories of Carl Jung and the power of understanding our unconscious selves. After Carl Jung's early intellectual development and initial immersion into psychiatry, his career began to take shape with his exposure to Sigmund Freud's pioneering psychoanalytic theories. Their collaboration, though short-lived, profoundly impacted Jung's intellectual journey and the formation of his own psychological system. It was during this period that Jung began to question the core tenets of Freudian theory and started developing his own revolutionary ideas that would later form the foundation of analytical psychology. Freud's psychoanalysis emphasized the role of repressed sexual desires and childhood experiences as the primary determinants of human behavior. While Jung initially embraced Freud's ideas, he gradually found them limiting. Jung believed that Freud's focus on sexuality as the central motivator of human behavior was too narrow and reductive. He recognized that the unconscious mind was much more complex and universal than Freud had suggested, leading him to formulate his own theories. One of the most groundbreaking aspects of Jung's thinking was the collective unconscious. Unlike Freud, who viewed the unconscious primarily as a repository of repressed thoughts and desires, Jung proposed that the unconscious also contained shared, inherited experiences common to all human beings. This concept of the collective unconscious radically expanded the notion of the unconscious, suggesting that it wasn't just an individual phenomenon, but a universal aspect of the human experience. Jung argued that the collective unconscious is made up of archetypes, which are universal symbols and patterns of behavior that have evolved over millennia. These archetypes are not learned or acquired through personal experience, but are inherited from our ancestors and shape our perceptions, thoughts, and behaviors. Examples of these archetypes include the hero, the mother, the wise old man, and the shadow. These figures appear in myths, religions, dreams, and stories across cultures and time periods, reflecting deep psychological truths that transcend individual experience. Jung's discovery of the collective unconscious marked a departure from Freud's focus on the personal unconscious, suggesting that there are deeper, more universal layers to our unconscious minds. He believed that understanding these shared, inherited elements of the unconscious could help individuals achieve greater self-awareness and psychological integration. In the years following Jung's introduction to Freud's work, the two became close collaborators, with Jung being considered by many as Freud's heir. However, the relationship soon began to unravel as Jung increasingly disagreed with Freud's insistence on the primacy of sexuality in human development. One of the major points of contention between the two was the role of the unconscious. Freud saw the unconscious as primarily a repository of repressed memories and sexual impulses, while Jung believed that the unconscious was a much richer and more complex landscape. Jung felt that Freud's narrow focus on sexuality ignored other important aspects of the unconscious, such as spiritual experiences, creativity, and the pursuit of meaning. By 1912, their differences had become irreconcilable, and Jung broke away from Freud to develop his own psychological system, which he called analytical psychology. Jung's split with Freud was a pivotal moment in the history of psychology, as it marked the birth of a new and expansive approach to understanding the human mind. Analytical psychology would go on to incorporate elements of depth psychology, mythology, religion, and philosophy, offering a more holistic view of the psyche. Jung's analytical psychology was built upon several core concepts that diverged from Freudian thought. These concepts sought to understand the individual's relationship with the unconscious, the process of self-realization, and the integration of the various aspects of the psyche. Some of the most important concepts of Jungian psychology include the ego and consciousness. According to Jung, the ego represents the conscious aspect of the mind, the I, or the part of the psyche that experiences the world directly. The ego is responsible for our self-awareness and our ability to interact with the external world. While the ego plays a vital role in our daily lives, Jung believed it could become too dominant, leading to a fragmented sense of self. The personal unconscious. This part of the unconscious is unique to each individual, consisting of forgotten memories, repressed experiences, and unresolved conflicts. It's the storehouse of all the material that an individual has experienced, but is not currently aware of. While this material is personal, it is still deeply influential in shaping behavior, thoughts, and emotions. The collective unconscious. As mentioned earlier, this is perhaps Jung's most revolutionary idea. The collective unconscious contains the universal, inherited experiences and symbols shared by all human beings. These archetypes form the deeper layer of the unconscious, influencing everything from dreams and myths to cultural rituals and personal experiences. By exploring the collective unconscious, Jung believed that individuals could gain deeper insights into the core of their own psyche. Archetypes. These are universal symbols and themes that appear in myths, dreams, and religious traditions worldwide. Archetypes represent essential human experiences and serve as a bridge between the conscious and unconscious realms. Some key archetypes include the self, the shadow, the anima, feminine side of the male psyche, and the animus, masculine side of the female psyche. Understanding and integrating these archetypes was central to Jung's idea of personal growth and individuation. Individuation. One of the key processes in Jungian psychology is individuation, which refers to the integration of the unconscious with the conscious mind in order to achieve psychological wholeness. Individuation is a lifelong journey of self-discovery, during which an individual confronts and integrates the various aspects of their psyche, including the shadow, the anima/animus, and the collective unconscious. The goal of individuation is to achieve a sense of balance and self-realization, allowing a person to fully express their true potential. Jung's interest in religion and mythology was another significant aspect of his intellectual journey. He viewed religious and mythological symbols as manifestations of deep psychological truths that were common to all human beings. For Jung, these symbols were not just cultural artifacts, but represented essential aspects of the human psyche, such as the need for meaning, the confrontation with the unconscious, and the desire for spiritual transcendence. Jung's work on mythology and religion led him to explore the concept of synchronicity, which he described as the meaningful coincidence of events that are not causally related, but are connected by their symbolic significance. He believed that the unconscious mind communicates with the conscious mind through symbols, and these symbols often manifest in religious and mythological forms. Jung's work in this area also led him to develop a deep interest in alchemy, which he saw as a symbolic representation of the process of individuation and spiritual transformation. Jung's analytical psychology continues to influence a wide range of fields, from psychology and psychiatry to literature, art, and religious studies. His ideas about the collective unconscious, archetypes, and the process of individuation have provided new ways of understanding the human experience and continue to shape contemporary discussions about the nature of the self, the unconscious, and the human condition. Jung's work was not without controversy, but his emphasis on the complexity and richness of the human psyche continues to resonate with those seeking to explore the deeper dimensions of their consciousness. His theories have inspired countless individuals to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery, guiding them toward greater self-awareness, personal growth, and spiritual fulfillment. The birth of analytical psychology was a monumental shift in the field of psychology, offering a broader and more integrative approach to understanding the human mind. By introducing concepts like the collective unconscious and archetypes, Carl Jung opened up new pathways for exploring the inner workings of the psyche. His break with Freud allowed him to develop a psychological system that transcended personal experiences, emphasizing the universal, symbolic nature of the unconscious and the importance of integrating its insights into daily life. In the next chapter, we will delve deeper into Jung's theory of archetypes and the collective unconscious, exploring how these universal patterns of human experience shape our thoughts, behaviors, and relationships. Join us as we continue to uncover the profound insights of Carl Jung and the transformative power of his ideas. Carl Jung's journey toward creating analytical psychology was not a sudden leap, but a gradual process, influenced by his exposure to various fields of study, early life experiences, and his collaborations with Sigmund Freud. In the early 1900s, when Jung first encountered Freud, the latter was a dominant figure in the realm of psychology, known for his pioneering theories of psychoanalysis. Freud's focus on the unconscious, repressed memories, and the role of sexuality in shaping human behavior intrigued Jung, who was keen to explore the inner workings of the human mind. At first, Jung felt a deep resonance with Freud's ideas. Freud's scientific approach to the unconscious and his focus on understanding the motivations behind human behavior seemed to align with Jung's own intellectual curiosity. The two men formed a professional bond, and Jung even became a key figure in Freud's inner circle, often regarded as Freud's intellectual successor. However, as their friendship and collaboration developed, deep philosophical and methodological differences began to surface between the two men, leading to their eventual split. Jung found Freud's theories too narrow, particularly Freud's insistence that human behavior was driven primarily by sexual impulses and repressed desires. Jung believed that the unconscious was far more complex and multifaceted. To Jung, the unconscious was not merely a repository of repressed wishes, but a vast, dynamic realm of symbols and universal patterns that were integral to the human experience. This disagreement marked the beginning of Jung's departure from Freudian psychoanalysis and the birth of his own school of thought, analytical psychology. One of Jung's most groundbreaking contributions to psychology was the development of the concept of the collective unconscious. While Freud's unconscious was primarily concerned with the repressed personal experiences of the individual, Jung proposed that there was another level of the unconscious, a deeper layer that was shared by all humans. This layer, the collective unconscious, was composed of archetypes, which Jung described as universal, primordial symbols that have existed throughout history and are present in the unconscious of every individual. Jung argued that the collective unconscious was not shaped by personal experiences, but instead by inherited memories and instincts passed down through generations. These archetypes, such as the hero, the mother, the wise old man, and the shadow, represent fundamental human experiences that have been passed down through myths, stories, and religious traditions across cultures and time periods. These archetypes form the building blocks of our psyche and play a crucial role in shaping our behavior, dreams, and emotional responses. For example, the shadow archetype represents the darker, repressed aspects of our personality, the parts of ourselves that we often deny or ignore. The hero, on the other hand, symbolizes our quest for self-realization and the overcoming of internal obstacles. These archetypes, according to Jung, are not learned through experience, but are deeply embedded within the collective unconscious and shape the way we interpret and interact with the world around us. A key concept in Jungian psychology is individuation, the process by which an individual becomes their true self. Individuation is a lifelong journey of self-discovery, where the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche are integrated. Jung believed that to achieve wholeness, individuals must confront and integrate the various archetypes and unconscious elements within themselves. This process is not easy and often requires facing uncomfortable truths about oneself, including the integration of the shadow, the parts of the personality that are often hidden or suppressed. Jung emphasized that the goal of individuation is not to attain perfection or a fixed state of being, but rather to become more whole and authentic. Through individuation, individuals come to understand their deeper selves, integrating the unconscious with the conscious, and harmonizing the internal conflicts that often arise from the tension between these two realms. This process is unique to each individual, as it involves facing personal challenges, accepting the many facets of the self, and discovering one's own meaning and purpose in life. However, the archetypes in the collective unconscious play a crucial role in guiding individuals through this process, offering symbols and patterns that help individuals understand their psychological and emotional experiences. Jung's break from Freud, the emergence of a new psychological model. As Jung's ideas began to take shape, it became increasingly clear that his vision of the unconscious and human psychology was divergent from Freud's. The catalyst for their eventual break was Jung's growing dissatisfaction with Freud's theories. Jung began to believe that Freud's emphasis on sexual repression as the primary motivator of human behavior was too limiting. For Jung, the unconscious was much more than just a repository of repressed desires. It was a complex and dynamic force that encompassed much more than personal experiences. Jung's critique of Freud's ideas went beyond sexuality. He argued that Freud's psychoanalysis lacked the depth and breadth needed to address the spiritual, religious, and symbolic dimensions of the human experience. Jung was drawn to the mysteries of religion, mythology, and alchemy, subjects that Freud had largely dismissed as irrational and irrelevant to psychological development. For Jung, these subjects were not mere cultural curiosities, but were deeply connected to the unconscious and played an essential role in the individuation process. The intellectual rift between Jung and Freud grew wider as their theories diverged. Freud remained committed to his model of psychoanalysis, focusing on the role of early childhood experiences and sexual drives in shaping personality. Jung, on the other hand, sought to expand the scope of psychology to encompass the totality of the human experience, integrating the spiritual, symbolic, and unconscious dimensions of the psyche into his approach. By 1912, their relationship had deteriorated to the point where Jung formally broke away from Freud and developed his own psychological system, analytical psychology. Key concepts of analytical psychology. Jung's analytical psychology is defined by several key concepts that set it apart from Freudian psychoanalysis. The ego and consciousness. The ego represents the conscious mind, the part of the psyche that is aware of the external world and makes decisions based on logic and reason. While the ego is crucial for functioning in the world, Jung believed it could become overly dominant, leading to a fragmented sense of self. To achieve wholeness, the ego must learn to integrate and balance the unconscious elements of the psyche. The personal unconscious. Similar to Freud's concept of the unconscious, the personal unconscious contains memories, thoughts, and experiences that have been repressed or forgotten. These are unique to the individual and can be accessed through dreams, active imagination, and other therapeutic techniques. The personal unconscious also contains aspects of the individual that have been rejected or denied. The collective unconscious. This is the most innovative and significant aspect of Jung's psychology. Unlike the personal unconscious, which is unique to each individual, the collective unconscious is universal. It contains archetypes and symbols that are shared by all humans, regardless of culture or personal experience. These archetypes form the foundation of human psychology and shape our collective myths, stories, and dreams. Archetypes. Archetypes are universal symbols or themes that exist in the collective unconscious. These archetypes appear in dreams, myths, fairy tales, and religious symbols across cultures and time periods. Common archetypes include the hero, the shadow, the anima/animus, the feminine and masculine aspects within each person. And the wise old man Jung believed that by understanding these archetypes, individuals could gain deeper insights into their own psychological development. Individuation. Individuation is the process of integrating the unconscious with the conscious mind to achieve psychological wholeness. This involves confronting and accepting the repressed or denied aspects of the self, including the shadow, and reconciling the masculine and feminine aspects of the psyche. Individuation leads to a deeper understanding of the self and a greater sense of inner harmony and balance. Jung's analytical psychology continues to have a profound influence on modern psychology, particularly in the areas of depth psychology, dream analysis, and personal development. His ideas about the collective unconscious and archetypes have shaped not only the field of psychology but also literature, art, religion, and cultural studies. Jung's holistic approach to the psyche, which integrates the conscious and unconscious, has inspired countless individuals to embark on a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Today, Jung's work is studied in universities and psychoanalytic institutes around the world. His influence can be seen in the fields of psychotherapy, literature, mythology, and even popular culture. His insights into the deeper layers of the unconscious and his focus on personal transformation continue to offer valuable tools for understanding the complexities of the human experience. The birth of analytical psychology was a watershed moment in the history of psychology, as Carl Jung introduced a new framework for understanding the human mind. His emphasis on the collective unconscious, archetypes, and individuation challenged the Freudian paradigm and offered a more expansive and integrative view of the psyche. Jung's theories not only transformed psychology, but also provided a roadmap for individuals seeking personal growth, self-awareness, and spiritual fulfillment. In the next chapter, we will dive deeper into Jung's exploration of archetypes and the collective unconscious, examining how these timeless symbols shape our psychological lives and influence our personal and collective experiences. Stay tuned as we continue our exploration of the depths of the human mind. Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the surface of your thoughts, dreams, and emotions? What if the answers to life's biggest questions aren't found in the waking world, but within the hidden realms of your unconscious? Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, believed that the mysteries of the human psyche could only be unraveled by delving into this vast and unexplored territory. He revolutionized our understanding of the mind, uncovering profound truths about who we are and why we behave the way we do. Jung's work transcends the boundaries of traditional psychology, venturing into the realms of spirituality, philosophy, and even mythology. His ideas challenge the conventional wisdom of his time and invite us to explore the deeper layers of our consciousness, where we can confront our inner conflicts and unlock our true potential. But how did Carl Jung, a curious and introspective young man from a small Swiss village, develop these groundbreaking theories that would change the world? In this journey, we'll follow the life and work of Carl Jung, from his early years shaped by spiritual tension and intellectual curiosity, to his revolutionary discoveries that forever transformed our understanding of the unconscious mind. Let's dive into the heart of Jung's story and uncover the experiences that laid the foundation for his transformative psychological theories. Welcome, fellow explorers. Here at The Unfolding Journey, we invite you to embark on an adventure into the deepest realms of the human psyche. Our goal is to take you on a path of self-discovery, where you can unlock the hidden potentials of your mind, explore universal themes in psychology, and understand what it means to live fully and authentically. If you've ever been curious about the workings of your unconscious mind or the mysteries of your inner world, this journey is for you. Join us as we explore the transformative theories of Carl Jung and the power of understanding our unconscious selves. After Carl Jung's early intellectual development and initial immersion into psychiatry, his career began to take shape with his exposure to Sigmund Freud's pioneering psychoanalytic theories. Their collaboration, though short-lived, profoundly impacted Jung's intellectual journey and the formation of his own psychological system. It was during this period that Jung began to question the core tenets of Freudian theory and started developing his own revolutionary ideas that would later form the foundation of analytical psychology. Freud's psychoanalysis emphasized the role of repressed sexual desires and childhood experiences as the primary determinants of human behavior. While Jung initially embraced Freud's ideas, he gradually found them limiting. Jung believed that Freud's focus on sexuality as the central motivator of human behavior was too narrow and reductive. He recognized that the unconscious mind was much more complex and universal than Freud had suggested, leading him to formulate his own theories. One of the most groundbreaking aspects of Jung's thinking was the collective unconscious. Unlike Freud, who viewed the unconscious primarily as a repository of repressed thoughts and desires, Jung proposed that the unconscious also contained shared, inherited experiences common to all human beings. This concept of the collective unconscious radically expanded the notion of the unconscious, suggesting that it wasn't just an individual phenomenon, but a universal aspect of the human experience. Jung argued that the collective unconscious is made up of archetypes, which are universal symbols and patterns of behavior that have evolved over millennia. These archetypes are not learned or acquired through personal experience, but are inherited from our ancestors and shape our perceptions, thoughts, and behaviors. Examples of these archetypes include the hero, the mother, the wise old man, and the shadow. These figures appear in myths, religions, dreams, and stories across cultures and time periods, reflecting deep psychological truths that transcend individual experience. Jung's discovery of the collective unconscious marked a departure from Freud's focus on the personal unconscious, suggesting that there are deeper, more universal layers to our unconscious minds. He believed that understanding these shared, inherited elements of the unconscious could help individuals achieve greater self-awareness and psychological integration. In the years following Jung's introduction to Freud's work, the two became close collaborators, with Jung being considered by many as Freud's heir. However, the relationship soon began to unravel as Jung increasingly disagreed with Freud's insistence on the primacy of sexuality in human development. One of the major points of contention between the two was the role of the unconscious. Freud saw the unconscious as primarily a repository of repressed memories and sexual impulses, while Jung believed that the unconscious was a much richer and more complex landscape. Jung felt that Freud's narrow focus on sexuality ignored other important aspects of the unconscious, such as spiritual experiences, creativity, and the pursuit of meaning. By 1912, their differences had become irreconcilable, and Jung broke away from Freud to develop his own psychological system, which he called analytical psychology. Jung's split with Freud was a pivotal moment in the history of psychology, as it marked the birth of a new and expansive approach to understanding the human mind. Analytical psychology would go on to incorporate elements of depth psychology, mythology, religion, and philosophy, offering a more holistic view of the psyche. Jung's analytical psychology was built upon several core concepts that diverged from Freudian thought. These concepts sought to understand the individual's relationship with the unconscious, the process of self-realization, and the integration of the various aspects of the psyche. Some of the most important concepts of Jungian psychology include the ego and consciousness. According to Jung, the ego represents the conscious aspect of the mind, the I, or the part of the psyche that experiences the world directly. The ego is responsible for our self-awareness and our ability to interact with the external world. While the ego plays a vital role in our daily lives, Jung believed it could become too dominant, leading to a fragmented sense of self. The personal unconscious. This part of the unconscious is unique to each individual, consisting of forgotten memories, repressed experiences, and unresolved conflicts. It's the storehouse of all the material that an individual has experienced, but is not currently aware of. While this material is personal, it is still deeply influential in shaping behavior, thoughts, and emotions. The collective unconscious. As mentioned earlier, this is perhaps Jung's most revolutionary idea. The collective unconscious contains the universal, inherited experiences and symbols shared by all human beings. These archetypes form the deeper layer of the unconscious, influencing everything from dreams and myths to cultural rituals and personal experiences. By exploring the collective unconscious, Jung believed that individuals could gain deeper insights into the core of their own psyche. One of Carl Jung's most transformative contributions to psychology was the development of the concept of archetypes, universal, inherited patterns or symbols that reside in the collective unconscious. These archetypes are not personal memories or experiences, but rather timeless motifs that shape the way humans perceive and experience the world. According to Jung, they exist across all cultures and manifest in myths, stories, dreams, and religious symbols, regardless of time or geographic location. These archetypes form the foundational structures of the human psyche and influence both individual development and collective cultural expressions. Archetypes are not merely symbolic ideas or concepts. They are fundamental psychological energies that influence human behavior, thoughts, and emotional experiences. Jung believed that these archetypes are deeply ingrained in every individual's unconscious mind and play an essential role in shaping our personalities, motivations, and relationships. They are the building blocks of the human experience, representing core psychological themes that transcend individual experience. Jung first encountered archetypal patterns in his study of mythology and religion, where he found that similar figures and symbols appeared across different cultures and historical periods. For instance, the archetype of the mother can be found in figures such as the Greek goddess Demeter, the Virgin Mary in Christianity, and the mother figure in various mythologies and folk tales. Similarly, the hero archetype, representing the individual's journey towards self-realization and overcoming internal obstacles, appears in the myths of Hercules, King Arthur, and even modern-day superheroes. Types of archetypes. Jung's work identified numerous archetypes, each representing a different aspect of the human experience. While there is no fixed number of archetypes, some of the most prominent and widely recognized archetypes include the hero. The hero archetype represents the individual's quest for self-discovery, personal growth, and overcoming adversity. The hero embarks on a journey, often involving trials, challenges, and a confrontation with fear or danger, only to emerge transformed, having gained new wisdom or insight. The hero represents the potential for self-realization and the courage to face inner and outer challenges. Common examples of the hero archetype include figures like Hercules, King Arthur, and modern-day protagonists in literature and film. The shadow. Perhaps one of the most important and challenging archetypes, the shadow represents the darker, repressed aspects of the psyche. Those parts of the self that are hidden, ignored, or denied. These can include suppressed emotions, desires, fears, or even qualities that society deems unacceptable. The shadow often manifests as a figure or force that confronts the individual with uncomfortable truths about themselves. By confronting and integrating the shadow, individuals can achieve greater wholeness and self-awareness. Jung emphasized the importance of integrating the shadow into consciousness in order to achieve psychological balance. The Anima/Animus. The anima, the feminine aspect in a man's psyche, and animus, the masculine aspect in a woman's psyche, are archetypes that represent the unconscious, inner opposite gender qualities. According to Jung, every person contains both masculine and feminine aspects, regardless of their biological sex. These archetypes are crucial for the development of psychological balance and harmony, and their integration allows an individual to access both their emotional intuition, anima, and rational intellect, animus. Jung believed that understanding and integrating the anima/animus was key to achieving personal wholeness. The wise old man/woman. This archetype symbolizes wisdom, guidance, and spiritual insight. The wise old man or woman often appears in myths and stories as a mentor or teacher who imparts wisdom to the hero or protagonist, helping them navigate their journey. This archetype represents the deep, often unconscious, well of knowledge that resides within the individual, and accessing it is seen as an important part of the individuation process. The trickster. The trickster archetype is a mischievous, unpredictable figure who challenges the status quo, disrupts norms, and plays with the boundaries of reality. While the trickster can be seen as a force for chaos, they also serve a vital function in the psyche by encouraging flexibility, creativity, and adaptability. The trickster often reveals hidden truths and offers new perspectives by challenging established beliefs and structures. The trickster archetype appears in figures like Loki from Norse mythology and the coyote in Native American traditions. The child. The child archetype symbolizes potential, innocence, and new beginnings. It represents the untainted, pure aspects of the self, qualities that are often overshadowed by the challenges of adult life. The child archetype often appears as a reminder of the possibility for growth and renewal, representing the potential for transformation and new experiences. It also carries the promise of hope and the capacity for wonder and joy. The Great Mother. The Great Mother archetype embodies the nurturing, protective, and life-giving aspects of femininity. This archetype is often depicted as a mother figure who provides unconditional love, care, and support. It represents the instinctual drive to nurture and create, as well as the more destructive, engulfing, or smothering aspects of maternal energy. The Great Mother can be found in figures like Demeter, the Virgin Mary, or Gaia, the Earth Goddess. Jung placed great emphasis on the importance of dreams in accessing the unconscious, particularly in understanding the archetypes that reside within it. Dreams, Jung argued, serve as a direct connection to the collective unconscious, offering insight into both personal and universal psychological patterns. By examining the symbols and images in dreams, individuals can uncover the presence of archetypes and explore their significance in their waking lives. For example, if an individual dreams of being chased by a dark figure, this could be an expression of the shadow archetype. Similarly, a dream of finding an old, wise teacher could indicate a connection to the wise old man archetype, signaling that the individual is seeking guidance or wisdom in their current life. Jung believed that understanding the archetypes present in dreams could lead to profound self-discovery and psychological growth, as it allowed individuals to confront the hidden aspects of their psyche and integrate them into their conscious awareness. Archetypes play a crucial role in the process of individuation, Jung's term for the journey towards self-realization and psychological wholeness. As individuals move through life, they encounter various archetypal forces within their own unconscious. Confronting and integrating these archetypes helps individuals achieve a deeper understanding of themselves, leading to greater self-awareness, balance, and harmony. The integration of the shadow is perhaps one of the most important aspects of individuation. Jung believed that when individuals ignore or repress the shadow, it can lead to emotional distress, projection, attributing one's own undesirable traits to others, and imbalance. However, by acknowledging and integrating the shadow, individuals can become more whole and develop greater emotional resilience. The integration of other archetypes, such as the Anima/Animus and the hero, also plays a key role in individuation, as these archetypes represent different aspects of the self that must be reconciled in order to achieve psychological unity. Individuation is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process that occurs throughout a person's life. Jung believed that the more individuals engaged with the unconscious and explored the archetypal patterns that shaped their lives, the more they could achieve a state of inner harmony and self-actualization. While the collective unconscious resides within each individual, it also manifests on a larger scale within human culture and society. Jung believed that the collective unconscious influences the myths, religions, art, and social structures of every civilization. Archetypal symbols and motifs appear in the collective narratives of societies, reflecting deep psychological truths shared by all people. For example, stories of creation and rebirth can be found in many religious and cultural traditions across the globe, symbolizing the human desire for transformation and renewal. Similarly, the archetype of the hero appears in the myths of cultures as diverse as ancient Greece, Norse mythology, and modern storytelling in literature and film, symbolizing the universal human journey towards self-knowledge and self-mastery. Jung saw the collective unconscious as a bridge between the individual and the collective, connecting personal experiences with universal human themes. He believed that by exploring the collective unconscious and its archetypal patterns, individuals could tap into deeper levels of meaning, wisdom, and understanding, both personally and collectively. Jung's theory of archetypes continues to resonate in modern psychology, as well as in fields like literature, art, and cultural studies. The archetypal patterns Jung identified are still present in the stories we tell, the dreams we have, and the relationships we form. Understanding these archetypes can offer a powerful tool for personal growth and self-awareness, helping individuals navigate the challenges and transitions of life. Whether through examining dreams, engaging with mythology, or reflecting on one's personal journey, exploring the archetypes within the unconscious can illuminate deeper psychological patterns, offering a roadmap to personal transformation and psychological integration. The concept of archetypes provides a powerful lens through which to understand the depths of the human psyche. By recognizing and integrating the archetypal forces within us, such as the shadow, the hero, the Anima/Animus, and others, we can embark on a journey of self-realization and personal growth. Jung's insights into the collective unconscious and its influence on both individual and collective experiences offer us a deeper understanding of the universal patterns that shape our lives. In the next chapter, we will explore how Jung's theories intersected with his study of religion and spirituality, revealing the ways in which archetypes and the unconscious mind play a role in the search for meaning and transcendence. Stay tuned as we continue our journey through the life and work of Carl Jung. Carl Jung's relationship with religion was complex and deeply intertwined with his psychological theories. Unlike many of his contemporaries, who often rejected or ignored the spiritual dimension of human existence, Jung viewed religion as a significant and integral part of the human experience. He believed that religious symbols, rituals, and beliefs were not mere superstitions or cultural artifacts, but profound expressions of the deeper layers of the human psyche, particularly the collective unconscious. Jung saw the spiritual dimension of the human experience as essential for psychological wholeness. He believed that without acknowledging and integrating the spiritual aspects of the self, individuals could not achieve true individuation or psychological balance. For Jung, religion was not simply about belief in an external deity or divine intervention. It was about the symbols, metaphors, and archetypes that emerge within the human psyche in response to existential questions about meaning, purpose, and the nature of the self. Jung's work suggested that the human psyche is naturally inclined to seek meaning and transcendence, especially when confronted with life's deepest mysteries, such as birth, death, suffering, and the search for purpose. He argued that religious symbols, rituals, and practices served as a means by which individuals could confront the unconscious, gain access to deeper layers of the psyche, and find spiritual fulfillment. Religion, in this sense, became a path toward individuation and self-discovery. One of Jung's most profound ideas was the concept of the God image, which represents the unconscious and archetypal representation of the divine within the human psyche. Jung argued that the human mind has an inherent tendency to project its deepest psychological needs and questions onto the image of a divine figure. This God image may take different forms depending on cultural and personal contexts, but it always serves as a symbol of the transcendent, guiding individuals toward higher levels of self-awareness and spiritual development. For Jung, the God image is not limited to traditional religious figures like God, gods, or deities. It can also manifest in the form of the self, the central archetype representing wholeness and integration in the psyche. The self, as a symbol of completeness, is often seen as an expression of divine order or cosmic unity. Jung believed that the individuation process involved a union with the self, which he equated with an experience of divine connection or spiritual fulfillment. The self was not a mere aspect of the ego or personal identity. It represented the totality of the psyche, encompassing both the conscious and unconscious dimensions, and pointing toward a transcendent, divine reality. Jung also recognized that the God image was often ambivalent and paradoxical. Just as the self contains both light and shadow, so too do the images of God and the divine. This ambivalence is especially evident in religious traditions that portray God as both benevolent and wrathful, nurturing and destructive, or as having human and divine aspects. Jung saw these paradoxes as reflections of the deep complexity of the unconscious mind, where opposites coexist and influence each other in dynamic ways. Jung's relationship with Christianity was particularly intricate. He was raised in a Protestant household, and much of his early life and thinking were shaped by Christian teachings. However, as he grew older, he distanced himself from the dogmatic and institutional aspects of Christianity, while still retaining a profound respect for the symbolism and spiritual truths found within the Christian tradition. Jung's interest in Christianity was not purely intellectual, it was deeply personal. He was fascinated by the Christian mythos, the story of Christ, his death and resurrection, and the symbolism surrounding the idea of redemption and salvation. Jung believed that the Christ archetype, with its themes of suffering, sacrifice, death, and resurrection, held deep psychological significance for individuals undergoing the process of individuation. For Jung, the Christ figure represented an image of wholeness, encompassing both divine and human elements, and symbolizing the transformative power of integrating opposites. However, Jung also critiqued many aspects of organized Christianity. He believed that traditional religious institutions often suppressed or ignored the deeper, symbolic meanings embedded in religious teachings. Jung saw Christianity's emphasis on doctrine and moral law as restrictive, neglecting the rich, unconscious aspects of the human experience. He felt that the Christian Church, in particular, failed to address the deeper, transformative processes of the psyche, such as the encounter with the shadow and the journey of individuation. Jung's interpretation of Christian symbols was deeply psychological. He argued that Christ's crucifixion symbolized the tension between opposites, the sacrifice of the ego in the pursuit of spiritual wholeness, and that Christ's resurrection represented the possibility of rebirth and transformation. Similarly, Jung saw the Virgin Mary as a symbol of the anima, the feminine unconscious aspect of the male psyche. This interpretation allowed Jung to reconcile his spiritual beliefs with his psychological framework, creating a synthesis between his personal spirituality and his understanding of the unconscious. Jung believed that the religious journey was a central aspect of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming one's true self. Religion provided the individual with symbols and archetypes that reflected the deepest layers of the psyche, allowing them to confront their unconscious and integrate its contents into consciousness. He argued that engaging with religious symbols and rituals helped individuals explore the deepest dimensions of the self, ultimately leading to self-realization and spiritual growth. For example, the process of crucifixion in Christian symbolism is often seen as a metaphor for the psychological death of the ego. In order to attain a higher state of being, the individual must let go of the false, rigid self-concept, the ego, and undergo a psychological death. This process of transformation parallels the psychological work of confronting and integrating the shadow, the darker, unconscious aspects of the self. Through this process, the individual is reborn, just as Christ is resurrected after his crucifixion. Jung believed that the search for meaning and purpose is a key part of individuation, and religious symbols are vital tools in this process. They offer individuals a framework for making sense of their experiences and understanding their role in the larger, cosmic order. In this way, religion is not merely a set of beliefs or practices. It is a profound psychological and spiritual journey towards self-discovery and wholeness. Jung's ideas have had a lasting impact on the field of spirituality, particularly in how individuals approach the unconscious and the quest for self-realization. Many modern spiritual movements and practices incorporate Jungian concepts, such as the archetypes and the self, into their teachings. His emphasis on integrating the unconscious and reconciling opposites is reflected in many spiritual traditions that seek to harmonize the light and dark aspects of the self. Jung's influence can also be seen in the development of depth psychology, which explores the unconscious as a means of understanding the spiritual and psychological depths of the human experience. His work has inspired contemporary psychotherapists and spiritual seekers to explore the symbolic and unconscious dimensions of their lives, helping them navigate the challenges of modern existence and seek deeper meaning. Moreover, Jung's focus on the spiritual journey as central to the process of individuation resonates with many individuals today who are seeking a deeper connection to themselves and to a higher spiritual reality. For many, Jung's ideas offer a path toward personal growth that integrates both psychological and spiritual aspects of the self, helping them achieve greater inner peace, authenticity, and self-awareness. Jung's legacy in the spiritual world. Jung's work continues to be influential in the spiritual world, as people turn to his ideas for guidance in their own journeys of self-discovery and spiritual growth. His approach to religion and spirituality emphasizes the need for individuals to explore their unconscious and connect with the deeper layers of their psyche. By doing so, they can uncover the archetypal patterns that guide their lives and integrate them into their consciousness, leading to greater spiritual insight and personal transformation. Jung's legacy in the spiritual realm is not just about his intellectual contributions. It is about his vision of the human being as a being that is both psychological and spiritual. His work offers a holistic approach to the human experience, one that embraces the mysteries of the unconscious and the transcendent, while also acknowledging the complexity of human life and relationships. Carl Jung's exploration of religion and spirituality reveals a profound connection between the inner workings of the psyche and the search for meaning and transcendence. For Jung, religious symbols and archetypes were not only expressions of cultural belief systems, but also profound psychological tools that guided individuals on their journey toward individuation and wholeness. Through the process of integrating the God image, confronting the shadow, and embracing the spiritual dimensions of the self, individuals can achieve greater self-awareness and fulfillment. In the next chapter, we will delve deeper into the practical application of Jungian psychology, exploring how his theories have been applied in therapy, art, and personal development. Stay with us as we continue to explore the enduring legacy of Carl Jung and his contributions to understanding the human psyche. Jung's approach to therapy was not only about treating symptoms, but about facilitating the journey toward wholeness and self-realization. Central to his therapeutic method was the concept of individuation, which he viewed as a lifelong process of integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of the self. For Jung, therapy was a spiritual and psychological journey aimed at harmonizing the individual's ego with the deeper layers of the unconscious, ultimately guiding the person toward a more authentic and balanced life. In Jungian therapy, the therapist is not merely a passive listener but an active guide, helping the patient uncover the unconscious material that shapes their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. This often involves working with dreams, symbols, and archetypes, as these are viewed as direct expressions of the unconscious mind. Jung believed that by exploring these symbols and unconscious contents, individuals could gain insight into their personal struggles and the deeper forces at work within them. One of the most significant techniques in Jungian therapy is active imagination. This process involves consciously engaging with unconscious imagery through art, visualization, or even conversation with internal figures. Active imagination allows the individual to bring unconscious elements of the psyche into consciousness, enabling them to understand and integrate these parts of themselves. Through this process, an individual can confront and reconcile the shadow, connect with the anima/animus, and ultimately achieve greater psychological and spiritual integration. Dream analysis in Jungian therapy. Dreams play a pivotal role in Jungian therapy. Jung believed that dreams were one of the primary ways the unconscious communicates with the conscious mind. Rather than interpreting dreams as simple wish fulfillments or symbolic representations of repressed desires, as Freud did, Jung saw dreams as a direct link to the collective unconscious and as containing valuable insights about the individual's personal journey of growth. In the context of therapy, dream analysis is used to uncover unconscious conflicts, desires, and archetypal patterns that influence an individual's waking life. Jung believed that dreams contain messages from the unconscious, pointing toward aspects of the self that require attention. By examining the symbols and themes in dreams, the therapist and the patient can gain insight into the psychological forces at play and begin the process of integration. For example, if a person dreams of being chased, it might symbolize an aspect of themselves, such as a fear or repressed desire, that they are avoiding or denying. Confronting and integrating this fear or desire is crucial to the individuation process. Jung also believed that dreams could serve as a bridge between the conscious mind and the deeper, archetypal layers of the psyche. For instance, the appearance of a wise old man in a dream might signal the presence of the self, the archetype of wholeness and unity, calling the individual toward greater self-awareness. Similarly, encountering the shadow in a dream could indicate that the individual is ready to confront the darker, repressed aspects of their personality. Through dream analysis, the therapist can help the patient understand the symbolic messages embedded in their dreams, allowing them to gain insight into unresolved conflicts, repressed emotions, and unmet psychological needs. The role of art and creativity in the individuation process. Jung was a passionate advocate for the role of creativity and art in psychological healing and self-expression. He believed that artistic expression could serve as a gateway to the unconscious, allowing individuals to access deeper layers of the psyche and express their innermost thoughts and feelings. For Jung, creativity was not merely a form of self-expression, but a vital process of psychological transformation and integration. Jung himself was an avid artist, creating numerous drawings and paintings throughout his life. He viewed his own art as a way to explore and integrate the unconscious, particularly during times of personal crisis. For Jung, the act of creating art was a form of active imagination, a way to externalize and confront the unconscious material that was emerging within him. Through this process, he was able to gain insight into his own psychological struggles and develop a deeper understanding of his personal journey of individuation. In therapy, art and creativity are used to help individuals explore and integrate unconscious material. The act of creating can provide a direct means of expressing complex emotions and inner experiences that may be difficult to articulate with words. Art therapy, in the Jungian sense, is not about producing aesthetically pleasing work, but about using the creative process as a tool for self-exploration and healing. For example, an individual struggling with a repressed shadow aspect of themselves might be encouraged to create an image or representation of that aspect. The image might reveal unexpected aspects of their personality or experiences, and by engaging with the artwork, the individual can begin to confront and integrate these hidden parts of the self. Similarly, artistic expression can be used to explore and amplify the anima/animus, the hero, and other archetypal figures that may be at play in the individual's life. Jung believed that symbols held immense psychological power. He viewed symbols as the language of the unconscious, with the ability to convey profound insights about the self and the world. In therapy, Jung emphasized the importance of working with symbols as a way to access the deeper layers of the psyche and facilitate healing. Symbols, according to Jung, can be found in mythology, religion, art, dreams, and even in the everyday language we use. Jungian therapists work with patients to help them identify and explore the symbols that arise in their lives, particularly those that seem to hold significant emotional or psychological weight. By doing so, the patient can uncover hidden meanings and connections within their own psyche, which can help them gain clarity and move toward greater self-understanding. One of the key symbols in Jungian therapy is the self, which represents the totality of the psyche and the goal of individuation. The self is often symbolized by archetypal figures such as the mandala, the circle, or other representations of wholeness. Animus. These symbols help guide the individual toward integrating the fragmented aspects of their personality and achieving a sense of psychological balance and unity. Other important symbols in Jungian therapy include the shadow, which may be represented by dark or threatening figures, and the anima/animus, which may appear in dreams as figures of the opposite sex. By working with these symbols, the patient can confront their unconscious material and integrate it into their conscious awareness. Carl Jung's contributions to psychology extend far beyond his own theoretical framework. His exploration of the unconscious, archetypes, and individuation has had a profound and lasting impact on contemporary psychology, influencing various schools of thought and therapeutic practices. Though he was often seen as a maverick within the field, his ideas have permeated modern psychological theory and practice in a way that has shaped our understanding of the human psyche in significant ways. One of the primary areas where Jung's influence is evident is in depth psychology, which is concerned with the exploration of the unconscious mind and its role in shaping thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. Depth psychology, which encompasses both Jungian and Freudian traditions, has grown significantly since Jung's time, with many therapists integrating Jungian concepts into their therapeutic approaches. Jung's emphasis on the unconscious as an essential and dynamic part of the psyche has paved the way for a more holistic view of the mind, where both the conscious and unconscious aspects of the self are given equal importance in the pursuit of healing and self-understanding. Jung's work also contributed to the development of transpersonal psychology, which focuses on the spiritual and transcendent dimensions of the human experience. Many ideas central to transpersonal psychology, such as the exploration of higher states of consciousness, the integration of the unconscious, and the search for meaning, echo Jung's own ideas about the process of individuation and the spiritual aspects of psychological growth. This school of thought incorporates mystical and spiritual traditions into psychological practice, aligning with Jung's belief in the importance of integrating the psyche's spiritual dimensions. Another area influenced by Jung is existential psychology, which examines the human condition, free will, and the search for meaning in life. Jung's exploration of the individual's struggle to make sense of existence, confront death, and embrace suffering has had a profound impact on existentialists like Viktor Frankl, Rollo May, and Irvin Yalom. Jung's approach to dealing with these existential concerns was based on his belief that facing one's shadow, integrating unconscious material, and working towards psychological wholeness could help individuals navigate the complexity of the human experience. Although Jung's work was often viewed as radical in its time, his ideas have continued to influence modern psychotherapy. Jungian analysis is still practiced today, with trained analysts utilizing Jung's theories of the unconscious, archetypes, and individuation in their therapeutic work. This form of analysis is focused on helping patients explore and integrate their unconscious material, with the goal of achieving greater self-awareness and psychological growth. One of the key elements of Jungian analysis is the concept of the collective unconscious, the shared, universal layer of the unconscious mind that contains archetypes, symbols, and primal images that resonate across cultures and historical periods. Modern Jungian therapists work with their patients to help them explore these universal symbols and archetypes, often through dream analysis, art therapy, and active imagination, in order to bring unconscious material into consciousness. Jung's theory of archetypes has also been instrumental in understanding the various psychological patterns that shape human behavior. These archetypes, such as the hero, mother, shadow, and wise old man, represent universal aspects of the human experience that can be found in myths, stories, and religious traditions. Jungian therapists use these archetypes to help patients understand their own internal conflicts and personality traits, guiding them toward greater psychological balance and self-realization. In recent years, Jungian psychology has also influenced a growing number of therapists who integrate it into more mainstream forms of therapy, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, psychodynamic therapy, and mindfulness-based therapies. Jung's insights into the importance of self-awareness, the unconscious mind, and the healing potential of symbols have enriched and expanded the therapeutic techniques used to treat individuals with a wide range of psychological issues. While Carl Jung's work was grounded in psychology, it has had broader implications that extend into areas such as neuroscience, neuropsychology, and cognitive science. Jung's concept of the collective unconscious, for instance, suggests that certain archetypes and symbols are inherent in the human psyche, and these ideas have sparked an ongoing dialogue with modern neuroscience. Contemporary neuroscientific research into the brain's default mode network, DMN, which is associated with self-reflection, daydreaming, and unconscious processes, has shown parallels with Jung's theories about the unconscious mind. In addition, recent studies in neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, echo Jung's belief in the possibility of psychological transformation and growth. Jung's ideas about individuation and the integration of unconscious material align with contemporary findings in neuroscience that highlight the brain's capacity for change and adaptation through mindfulness, self-awareness, and therapeutic interventions. Furthermore, research into the role of symbolism in the brain has drawn on Jung's work, revealing that symbols, whether in the form of dreams, imagery, or metaphors, play a significant role in how the brain processes and makes sense of experience. Studies in cognitive science and neuropsychology have shown that engaging with symbols can have a profound impact on emotional processing and psychological healing, mirroring Jung's belief in the transformative power of unconscious material and archetypes. Jung's concept of the self, a symbol of wholeness and integration, has also been explored in contemporary neuroscience, with studies investigating the relationship between the brain's self-regulation processes and the quest for personal integration and balance. Jung's understanding of the self as a dynamic and ever-evolving force within the psyche has informed modern therapeutic practices aimed at promoting emotional and psychological resilience, both in the clinical setting and in personal development contexts. Jung's impact extends far beyond psychology, influencing a wide range of cultural and artistic fields. Literature, art, and film have drawn extensively on Jungian concepts, particularly the archetypes and the process of individuation, in order to explore the depths of the human psyche and the complexities of human experience. Writers, filmmakers, and visual artists have often incorporated Jungian ideas into their work to convey psychological themes and archetypal patterns. In literature, authors such as James Hillman, Clarissa Pinkola Estes, and Marion Woodman have explored Jungian ideas, creating narratives that delve into the collective unconscious, the hero's journey, and the integration of shadow and anima/animus. Their works draw on Jungian themes of transformation, psychological growth, and the encounter with both light and dark aspects of the self. Jung's impact on art has been similarly profound. Many contemporary artists, such as Salvador Dali, Marc Chagall, and Frida Kahlo, incorporated Jungian themes of the unconscious, archetypes, and personal transformation into their visual works. Jung's own artistic endeavors, such as his exploration of mandalas and his symbolic drawings, reflect his belief in the power of visual expression to access the unconscious mind and facilitate psychological healing. Even in popular culture, Jung's influence is unmistakable. Characters in TV shows, films, and books often embody Jungian archetypes, such as the hero, the shadow, the wise old man, and the anima/animus, and their stories reflect the psychological journey of individuation. The Star Wars saga, for example, prominently features the shadow aspect in characters like Darth Vader, and the transformative journey of Luke Skywalker mirrors the process of individuation as he confronts his fears, integrates his darker side, and becomes whole. Jungian psychology and the quest for meaning in the modern world. In today's rapidly changing world, Jung's ideas continue to provide a rich framework for understanding the search for meaning, purpose, and spiritual fulfillment. In the face of existential challenges such as the loss of traditional religious frameworks, increasing alienation, and the complexity of modern life, Jung's focus on self-exploration and the integration of the unconscious offers a path toward deeper personal insight and fulfillment. Jung's emphasis on the transcendent function, the ability to synthesize opposites within the psyche and find meaning in the midst of conflict, provides a model for navigating modern existential dilemmas. By recognizing and integrating the shadow, embracing archetypes, and engaging in individuation, individuals today can discover a sense of wholeness and spiritual depth that transcends the chaos of the external world. In the next chapter, we will explore the future of Jungian psychology, looking at how Jung's ideas continue to evolve in the 21st century and the ways in which his theories can help us navigate the challenges of modern life. Stay tuned for the next phase of our exploration into the life and legacy of Carl Jung. As we move further into the 21st century, we face a rapidly changing world, one that is deeply influenced by technology, globalization, and shifting societal values. Despite the dramatic technological advancements, Carl Jung's psychological principles remain highly relevant. As our understanding of the human mind continues to evolve, Jung's exploration of the unconscious, the archetypes, and individuation offer a timeless framework for addressing modern concerns. One area where Jungian psychology is particularly relevant in today's world is in its potential application to digital spaces and virtual realities. With the rise of social media, virtual communities, and online gaming, individuals are increasingly engaging with new forms of self-representation and collective experiences. These digital spaces often create environments where the shadow, anima/animus, and other archetypal patterns can be explored and expressed in new ways. For instance, many people use social media platforms as a way to project their idealized selves or, conversely, to hide their true identities. These platforms can create a split between the persona we present to the world and our authentic self. Jungian psychology can help people navigate this divide, encouraging individuals to reflect on how their online personas may be an expression of unconscious desires or unresolved psychological issues. By acknowledging and integrating these splits, individuals can move toward a more authentic expression of self both online and offline. Furthermore, virtual reality and immersive gaming experiences provide individuals with the opportunity to confront their unconscious fears and desires in novel and interactive ways. The use of avatars, role-playing, and symbolic imagery in these virtual environments can serve as a modern extension of Jung's concepts of active imagination and the exploration of archetypes. For example, players may embody heroic characters, confront villainous forces, or explore fantastical worlds that represent inner psychological landscapes. By engaging with these virtual experiences, individuals may have the opportunity to integrate aspects of the shadow, confront unresolved conflicts, and embark on a modern-day hero's journey. While the digital age may seem to prioritize rationality, convenience, and immediate gratification, Jungian principles can still offer a deeper, more meaningful approach to understanding the human experience. As we continue to navigate a hyper-connected, tech-driven world, the search for authentic self-expression, meaningful connection, and inner growth will remain relevant. Jung's ideas about the integration of opposites and the balance between technology and human nature offer valuable insights for achieving psychological balance in this new era. Jungian psychology in the globalized world. In today's increasingly globalized society, there is an ongoing exchange of cultural values, ideas, and experiences. As societies become more interconnected, individuals are exposed to a diverse range of beliefs, practices, and worldviews. Jung's concept of the collective unconscious and the archetypes offers a way to understand these shared human experiences that transcend national, cultural, and ethnic boundaries. One of the key aspects of Jungian psychology is its recognition of universal symbols and themes that emerge across cultures and historical periods. For instance, the archetype of the hero can be seen in myths and stories from every corner of the world, from the Hercules of Greek mythology to the Buddhist bodhisattvas. Similarly, the figure of the wise old man appears in many cultures as a symbol of wisdom and guidance, while the shadow represents the darker, unacknowledged aspects of the self, found in both ancient and modern societies. As cultures continue to interact and share ideas, Jung's focus on the universal aspects of the human psyche allows individuals to find common ground, even in the face of cultural differences. In particular, Jung's theory of individuation can be applied to the global community. The idea that each person must strive to integrate their conscious and unconscious aspects in order to become whole resonates with a broader call for personal and collective harmony. In addition to offering a way to understand universal psychological processes, Jung's ideas also encourage individuals to reflect on the impact of their cultural conditioning and the personal unconscious. As individuals navigate multiple cultures, they may find themselves questioning their identity, values, and sense of belonging. Jung's approach encourages individuals to embark on a journey of self-exploration, integration, and authenticity, regardless of where they come from or which cultural traditions they belong to. Jung's work also speaks to the importance of cultural symbols and myths in the context of globalization. In an increasingly secular world, many individuals are searching for new sources of meaning and connection. Jung's exploration of archetypes and the symbolic language of the unconscious can offer a framework for understanding the deeper layers of experience, whether through religious rituals, cultural traditions, or personal creative expression. The search for meaning and purpose remains one of the most enduring and essential aspects of the human experience. As people face modern challenges such as existential anxiety, alienation, and identity crisis, many find that traditional religious and philosophical frameworks are no longer sufficient to answer life's most profound questions. Here, Jungian psychology offers an invaluable resource. One of Jung's central insights is that the path towards psychological wholeness and self-realization is an individual one. While the journey of individuation may differ from person to person, it is through this process that individuals can discover a deeper sense of meaning and fulfillment in life. Rather than relying on external sources of validation or societal norms, the individuation process encourages individuals to look inward, to explore their unconscious, and to embrace both the light and shadow aspects of their personality. In an age where mental health has become a critical concern and many people face feelings of disconnection or meaninglessness, Jung's ideas about the integration of opposites and spiritual development can provide a powerful framework for personal growth. By embracing the self, confronting the shadow, and integrating unconscious material, individuals can transcend internal conflict and create a more authentic life. Moreover, Jung's emphasis on symbols and mythology as keys to understanding the deeper layers of the psyche offers a path for individuals to reconnect with timeless sources of wisdom. The archetypes that have emerged in myths and stories across cultures speak to universal truths about the human condition. Whether through personal dreams, collective myths, or creative expression, Jungian psychology provides a means to explore these symbols and uncover the hidden meanings that may lie beneath the surface of everyday life. As existential concerns continue to shape the modern world, Jung's teachings can offer a valuable resource for those seeking meaning in their personal lives. His work encourages individuals to embark on a journey of self-discovery, personal growth, and psychological integration, which is not limited by time or culture. Rather than looking outward for answers, Jung challenges us to turn inward and confront the deeper, more mysterious parts of ourselves. It is through this journey that we find meaning, purpose, and ultimately, a sense of fulfillment. Mental health awareness has grown significantly in recent years, with more and more people recognizing the importance of mental well-being. Jung's contributions to psychology can play a central role in this ongoing conversation, particularly in the realm of depth psychology and holistic healing. Jung's belief that mental health involves not just the absence of symptoms, but also the integration of unconscious material and the achievement of wholeness is especially relevant in today's world. In a society that often emphasizes quick fixes, Jungian psychology encourages a deeper, more reflective approach to healing. One that considers the entire psyche, including the unconscious forces that shape our behavior, emotions, and relationships. As more individuals seek personal development, spiritual growth, and psychological healing, Jungian therapy and concepts will continue to provide tools for understanding and navigating life's complexities. By embracing the integration of both the conscious and unconscious mind, individuals can unlock their full potential and live more authentic, fulfilling lives. While Jung's ideas continue to thrive in the contemporary world, there are challenges and opportunities for their evolution in the future. One of the challenges facing Jungian psychology is the need for adaptation to modern psychological practices and research. Although Jung's theories are deeply rich and complex, they are often criticized for being difficult to test empirically. As psychological science continues to prioritize evidence-based practices, Jungian psychology may face challenges in aligning with more mainstream approaches. However, this challenge presents an opportunity for further research into the empirical validity of Jung's theories. As neuroscience and psychology continue to evolve, there may be new ways to study and validate the concepts of the unconscious, archetypes, and individuation. This could lead to an even deeper understanding of how Jung's ideas impact mental health, human behavior, and personal development in the modern world. At the same time, Jungian psychology offers new opportunities for interdisciplinary collaboration. By integrating concepts from neuroscience, art therapy, spirituality, and social psychology, Jungian psychology can continue to provide relevant and powerful insights into the nature of the human experience. Jung's work continues to resonate in the modern world because it addresses the fundamental aspects of the human condition: identity, meaning, wholeness, and transformation. As we move into the future, his insights into the unconscious mind, archetypes, and self-realization will remain a valuable resource for understanding the complexities of the human experience. Whether through therapy, creative expression, global exploration, or technological innovation, Jung's ideas will continue to inspire individuals seeking to understand themselves and their place in the world. The journey of individuation is as relevant today as it was in Jung's time, and his work will continue to guide generations of individuals in their quest for meaning, growth, and psychological integration. In the next and final chapter, we will look at how to begin the journey of individuation and explore practical steps for applying Jungian concepts to everyday life. Stay tuned as we delve into the practical application of Jungian psychology and how it can guide us toward living more meaningful and fulfilled lives. The path to individuation, a lifelong journey. Carl Jung's concept of individuation is perhaps the most significant and transformative aspect of his psychological theory. Individuation refers to the process of becoming one's true self, integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche, and realizing a deeper sense of wholeness. It is a journey that unfolds over a lifetime, shaped by personal experiences, dreams, unconscious material, and the ongoing interaction between the individual and the collective unconscious. In today's world, where many people feel disconnected from their true selves or struggle with identity crises, the process of individuation offers a powerful path toward healing and self-discovery. However, individuation is not a simple or quick process. It requires time, introspection, and a willingness to confront difficult and sometimes painful aspects of the self. It is a process that involves the integration of opposites, where individuals learn to embrace both the light and shadow aspects of their personality in order to become whole. Step 1. Confronting the shadow. One of the first and most important steps on the path to individuation is confronting the shadow, the unconscious part of the psyche that contains repressed desires, negative traits, and unacknowledged emotions. The shadow often represents the aspects of ourselves that we do not want to face, such as jealousy, anger, fear, or shame. These qualities are often projected onto others or hidden from our awareness, but they can have a profound impact on our relationships, behavior, and emotional well-being. In order to integrate the shadow, it is essential to become aware of the qualities within oneself that have been denied or suppressed. This may involve reflecting on recurring patterns of behavior, identifying unresolved emotional wounds, or recognizing projections onto other people. Jung suggested that the shadow can be most effectively integrated by embracing it, by acknowledging its presence, understanding its origins, and learning to work with it rather than against it. Practical exercise. Keep a shadow journal where you write down the qualities you find most difficult to accept in yourself. Reflect on situations where you may have projected these qualities onto others or hidden them from your own awareness. Over time, try to identify and accept these traits within yourself, understanding that they are part of the human experience and contribute to your overall psychological wholeness. Step 2. Exploring the Anima and Animus. In Jungian psychology, the anima for men and the animus for women represent the unconscious, opposite-gender aspects of the psyche. These figures serve as bridges between the conscious and unconscious mind, helping individuals connect with the deeper layers of their psyche. The anima and animus are often represented by archetypal figures in dreams, fantasies, and myths. For men, the anima represents the feminine qualities within their psyche: empathy, intuition, emotionality, and creativity. For women, the animus represents the masculine qualities: rationality, assertiveness, independence, and logical thinking. Engaging with the anima or animus is an important part of the individuation process, as it allows individuals to integrate these qualities and achieve a more balanced and whole sense of self. Practical exercise. Pay attention to your dreams and daydreams, as they may reveal the anima or animus in symbolic form. For men, the anima might appear as a nurturing, wise, or seductive woman. For women, the animus might appear as a confident, heroic man or a wise elder. Reflect on the qualities these figures represent and how they might be influencing your behavior, decisions, and relationships. Consider how you can bring these aspects of the opposite gender into your conscious awareness and integrate them into your daily life. Step 3. Embracing the persona. The persona is the social mask or role that we present to the world. It is the aspect of ourselves that is shaped by societal expectations, cultural norms, and the roles we are asked to play in our professional and personal lives. While the persona is essential for navigating social relationships and maintaining a sense of order, it can also create a disconnect between our true selves and the way we present ourselves to others. Jung believed that the persona can become problematic when we identify too strongly with it, leading us to lose touch with our inner selves. The individuation process involves recognizing the limitations of the persona and learning to differentiate between the roles we play and the authentic self that lies beneath. Practical exercise. Take time to reflect on the roles you play in different areas of your life, at work, in relationships, and in your community. Consider whether you feel comfortable in these roles, or whether you are simply performing to meet external expectations. Ask yourself how much of your true self is being expressed in each role, and whether you are allowing yourself the freedom to be authentic in these contexts. You can also consider asking close friends or family members about the persona they see you projecting. This can provide useful insight into the ways you might be unconsciously hiding parts of yourself in order to fit into societal molds. Step 4. Active imagination and dream work. Active imagination is a technique developed by Jung to bridge the gap between the conscious and unconscious minds. It involves consciously engaging with the images, symbols, and emotions that arise from the unconscious in a creative way. This can be done through art, journaling, visualization, writing, or any form of creative expression that allows the individual to interact with unconscious material. Similarly, dream work is another powerful tool for engaging with the unconscious. Jung believed that dreams were the royal road to the unconscious, providing valuable insights into the deeper layers of the psyche. By paying attention to the symbols, themes, and emotions in our dreams, we can uncover unconscious material that may be influencing our waking lives. Both active imagination and dream work are essential for the individuation process, as they provide a direct connection to the unconscious mind and facilitate the integration of unconscious material into the conscious self. Practical exercise. Set aside time each day to engage in active imagination or dream work. For active imagination, choose an image, emotion, or symbol that has come up for you recently and try to engage with it creatively. Allow the image or symbol to develop and evolve, and see where it takes you. For dream work, keep a dream journal by your bedside and write down your dreams immediately upon waking. Look for recurring symbols or themes and try to understand what they might be telling you about your current state of mind. Step 5. The integration of the self. The ultimate goal of the individuation process is the integration of the self, the realization of wholeness, and the union of the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche. The self represents the totality of the psyche, including both the light and dark aspects of the self, and it is often symbolized by images of wholeness, such as the mandala. The self is not a static entity, but an evolving, dynamic process that reflects the continuous growth of the individual. As you work through the process of individuation, the integration of the self involves embracing all aspects of your being: your conscious personality, your unconscious desires and fears, your light and shadow, your masculine and feminine qualities, and your spiritual self. It is about becoming whole and authentic, not by seeking perfection, but by accepting and integrating the many facets of your psyche. Practical exercise. Reflect on the concept of the self as a symbol of integration and wholeness. You might consider creating your own mandala or symbol that represents the different aspects of yourself. As you continue your journey of individuation, return to this symbol regularly and reflect on how it evolves over time. How does it change as you continue to integrate more of yourself into conscious awareness? The journey of individuation is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process of growth, discovery, and transformation. As you begin to apply Jungian concepts to your life, remember that this is a lifelong journey of deepening self-awareness, embracing all aspects of your psyche, and striving toward a more authentic and meaningful existence. While the road may be challenging at times, it is ultimately a path toward greater fulfillment, emotional health, and spiritual wholeness. Jung's teachings offer a profound way to understand yourself and your place in the world, providing a framework for confronting life's challenges, integrating unconscious material, and becoming your true, whole self. Through the practice of confronting the shadow, embracing the anima/animus, transcending the persona, engaging with active imagination and dream work, and striving for the integration of the self, you can embark on a transformative journey towards psychological health, personal growth, and self-realization. Remember, the path to individuation is not about perfection. it is about authenticity. Embrace the journey and trust that each step you take brings you closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. Jungian therapy, a healing journey. Carl Jung's theories have had a profound influence on the practice of psychotherapy, and his insights continue to inform therapeutic approaches today. One of the most important aspects of Jungian therapy is its emphasis on the holistic nature of the psyche. Jungian therapy seeks to explore not only the conscious thoughts and feelings of the individual, but also their unconscious mind, those parts of the psyche that remain hidden from the conscious self. Jungian psychotherapy is based on the understanding that healing comes from integrating all aspects of the self, including both light and dark sides. The goal of therapy is not just to relieve symptoms or change behaviors, but to facilitate a deeper process of self-discovery and wholeness. This is achieved by helping clients recognize the influence of unconscious material, including archetypes, complexes, and personal myths, which shape their thoughts, behaviors, and relationships. The relationship between the therapist and the client is also central to Jungian therapy. The therapist acts as a guide who helps the client navigate the unconscious realms, holding a safe and supportive space for exploration. The therapeutic relationship itself becomes a place where both the therapist and the client can experience an unfolding of the self, mirroring the process of individuation. One of the central methods used in Jungian therapy is dream analysis, where clients are encouraged to explore their dreams and bring the symbolic content to conscious awareness. Dreams are seen as a way for the unconscious mind to communicate important messages to the individual, and by understanding the symbolism and themes of dreams, individuals can gain insights into unresolved issues, emotional wounds, or life transitions. Jung believed that dreams were a direct expression of the unconscious, and that their messages could be therapeutic if properly understood. Another key aspect of Jungian therapy is active imagination, a technique that helps clients engage with the unconscious through creative expression. This method involves deliberately entering into a meditative or trance-like state and engaging with the images, symbols, or figures that arise from the unconscious mind. These may manifest as dialogues with archetypal figures or visualizations that allow the client to explore the deeper layers of their psyche. Active imagination can lead to profound insights, personal healing, and transformation. Jungian psychology and the integration of spirituality. Jung's theories were not just psychological in nature, but also deeply spiritual. He recognized that the human experience is not just about the mind and body, but also the spiritual dimension, the deeper, transcendent aspect of life. Jung's understanding of spirituality was not limited to traditional religious beliefs, but was based on the idea that every person carries within them a spiritual self that longs for meaning, purpose, and connection to the larger universe. Jung often spoke of the self as a spiritual center, and he believed that the individuation process was a journey towards spiritual wholeness. This journey involves reconnecting with the spiritual aspect of the psyche, whether through religious practices, meditation, creative expression, or encounters with the numinous. Those experiences of the divine or transcendent that cannot be easily described in ordinary language. Jung's interest in mythology, alchemy, and depth psychology was deeply intertwined with his spiritual exploration. He saw myths as symbolic narratives that expressed timeless truths about the human condition and the journey toward self-realization. In this sense, myths served as a kind of collective wisdom that could guide individuals on their spiritual journey. For many, integrating spirituality into the practice of individuation can provide a deeper sense of meaning and connection to the world. Jung's work offers a way for individuals to explore their own spiritual beliefs and practices while encouraging them to embrace the mystery of the unconscious and the sacred. By integrating spirituality with psychology, Jungian therapy can guide individuals toward a deeper understanding of their spiritual self and how it connects with the greater whole. Practical exercise. Engage in a spiritual practice that resonates with you, whether it is prayer, meditation, yoga, or time spent in nature. Reflect on how this practice helps you connect with your deeper self and provides meaning in your life. Consider how spirituality and psychological growth intersect in your life and explore how they can inform each other. While Jungian psychology can be a powerful tool for deep, transformative work in therapy, its principles are not limited to the therapy room. In fact, many of the practices associated with Jungian psychology can be integrated into everyday life to foster personal growth, creativity, and self-awareness. Here are a few practical ways to bring Jungian principles into your daily routine. Embrace active imagination. You don't need to be in therapy to engage in active imagination. Every day, take time to sit quietly and allow your mind to wander. Let your imagination come to life through art, journaling, visualization, or creative writing. By engaging with the images and symbols that arise, you can uncover unconscious material and promote self-awareness. For example, create a symbolic drawing that represents your current emotional state, or write a dialogue between yourself and an inner archetype, such as the wise old man or mother. Practice dream work. Keeping a dream journal can be a simple yet profound way to engage with the unconscious. Record your dreams every morning, noting any recurring symbols or emotions. Reflect on the messages that might be hidden in your dreams, such as fears or desires that have not been fully integrated into your waking life. Over time, dream analysis can help you understand the unconscious forces that shape your thoughts and behavior. Develop a relationship with your shadow. Throughout the day, notice when negative emotions or projections arise. When you feel anger, jealousy, or shame, take a moment to reflect on the unconscious material that might be influencing your reaction. Recognize these feelings as parts of your shadow that need to be acknowledged and integrated. Journaling about these emotions or engaging in creative expression can help you process and understand them. Foster consciousness around your persona. Reflect on the roles you play in your personal and professional life. Are you allowing your true self to shine through, or are you simply performing based on others' expectations? Take small steps to express your authentic self, whether it is by voicing your opinions more clearly or engaging in creative activities that reflect your true passions. Engage with archetypes. As you go about your daily life, pay attention to the archetypal figures that might emerge in your thoughts, dreams, or relationships. Perhaps you identify with the hero in a challenging situation, or you recognize that you are playing the role of the caregiver in a family dynamic. Understanding how archetypes influence your behavior can help you navigate your life more consciously and meaningfully. Reflect on personal myths. Just as societies have their collective myths, each individual carries within them personal stories or myths that shape their identity. Reflect on the stories you tell yourself about who you are, where you come from, and what your life's purpose is. Are these myths helping you move toward wholeness, or are they limiting your potential? Rewriting or revisiting your personal mythology can help you reframe your life and move toward greater integration. Seek meaning in the ordinary. Jung often spoke of the importance of finding meaning in everyday life. Look for symbolic meaning in the ordinary moments of your day, whether it is in your interactions with others, your work, or your connection with nature. Each moment has the potential to reveal something deeper about the unconscious and your journey toward individuation. The goal of integrating Jungian psychology into modern life is not just about applying theoretical concepts. It is about living a life of greater awareness, authenticity, and wholeness. Jung's teachings encourage us to explore the unconscious, confront our shadow, embrace our inner opposites, and ultimately discover our true selves. Whether in the therapy room, through creative expression, or in the daily rituals of life, Jung's work provides a map for personal growth, spiritual connection, and psychological integration. By practicing the principles of Jungian psychology in everyday life, we can cultivate a deeper sense of meaning, connection, and fulfillment. Individuation is a lifelong journey, but it is one that holds the promise of a more authentic and spiritually enriching existence. As you continue to explore the depths of your psyche and integrate the lessons of your unconscious mind, remember that you are not just becoming your true self, you are becoming whole. Through conscious reflection, creative engagement, and an openness to the mysteries of the unconscious, you can embark on a path that leads to a more integrated, purposeful, and meaningful life. As we conclude this exploration of Carl Jung's profound psychological insights and practices, we arrive at a simple but essential truth. The journey toward individuation, or becoming one's true self, is a lifelong path of growth, self-awareness, and transformation. Jung's theories offer a powerful framework for understanding the human experience, encouraging us to not only confront the unconscious aspects of ourselves, but to embrace them, integrate them, and use them to cultivate a richer, more meaningful life. Jung's approach invites us to venture beyond the boundaries of conventional psychology and into the depths of our soul's yearning for wholeness. By engaging with the shadow, integrating the Anima and Animus, and embodying the self, we unlock the keys to a life filled with authenticity, creativity, and spiritual richness. Whether through dream analysis, active imagination, or conscious self-reflection, Jungian principles provide practical tools for navigating the complexities of modern life. Each step of the individuation process is an opportunity to move closer to a deeper understanding of oneself and one's place in the world. It is about reconnecting with the hidden parts of our psyche, facing what we've long avoided, and stepping into the full potential of who we are meant to be. Jung's wisdom reminds us that the journey of self-discovery and personal transformation is not always easy. It requires courage, introspection, and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. But it is precisely through these challenges that we grow, evolve, and ultimately find the freedom to live a life that is truly ours. As you reflect on the ideas presented here and consider how they can be applied in your own life, remember that the journey toward individuation is a dynamic, evolving process. It is a path that invites you to explore the depths of your psyche, confront your shadows, and rise to the fullest expression of your true self. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through Carl Jung's psychology. May you continue to explore, grow, and embrace the unfolding path of individuation, knowing that each step you take brings you closer to the person you were always meant to become. We are so glad to have you here. At the unfolding journey, we explore the profound wisdom of psychology, spirituality, and personal transformation. If you're passionate about self-discovery and eager to unlock the mysteries of the human psyche, you're in the right place. From Jungian concepts to practical tools for growth, we aim to guide you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos that will continue to support you on your own journey toward wholeness. Remember, the journey unfolds one step at a time.